Good morning. There.
There you are.
Oh my God, that was hysterical. You all went like this. I wish you were up here seeing this. So good morning. You all ready to have a great day? Have you already been having a great day? Is this weather not amazing? Just amazing. So come on up here. Where are my singers?
Right here.
Come on up here. So I'm going to invite you to stand, take your energy up, and let's become one big family. 1, 2, 3, and... Okay, here we go. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. Get up now. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we came to be. We are love, we are one. One big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Okay, here we go. Come on. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. Get up now. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one. One big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. Lisa, see the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one. One big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Brian Gatson. A joyful sound, here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound, here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Come on, hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah. Okay, hold on 1 second while I just put this back together. Grab that for me. Yes? Aha. Let's have a round of applause for Thor. Okay. So, good morning. So, welcome to Westlake Village, Center for Spiritual Living. We come together every Sunday morning as a spiritual community to do one thing and one thing only. What is that? Wow. Do you remember the first time I asked and you were all quiet? You've really changed. We come together every Sunday as a spiritual community to remember one thing, that right where I am, and it doesn't matter where I am, and God stands for greatness. Greatness on demand. That's it. We trust and know that this divine energy that we call God, that we call love, no matter what we call it, there is this consciousness for good in the universe, and we get to use it because we are it. Tag, you're it. So we get to use this energy because it's exactly who we are. So let's use it first and foremost to bless every single person in this universe. So Steve, can you come on up here? Let's all welcome Steve Brabant.
So we're going to honor all the religions of the world. Not all of the religions of the world, but we are going to honor all the religions of the world, because by the end we're going to include everybody we've missed, right? Okay. So we light the candle for the Tao, which is the universal path of harmony. We light the candle for shamanic traditions, the primal spirituality of all indigenous people. For Hinduism, celebrating knowledge, action, and devotion. Judaism, living by sacred law, understanding that the law is that all is God, all is good. All forms of Buddhism, innate wisdom, loving kindness, compassion. Christianity, we celebrate the Christ consciousness in all people, that when we live in that consciousness, when we choose to love only, when we step into that knowing of who we are, now we're living in the Christ consciousness. We celebrate Islam, submission to the will of God as the highest calling, knowing that that will of God is that we will live in peace. We will live in love. And the Baha'i, celebrating unity and peace. And then all forms of new thought. We celebrate mental healing through universal spiritual principles, recognizing that everything starts in mind. There is a mental equivalent to every aspect of my life. If I see it, I've created it. If I create it, I will see it. That's what we teach, that's what we know, and that is the good news, that right where I am, God is creating perfectly at all times. And then the final candle is for all religions yet to be known, for everything that will come from this point forward, everything that has come before it and everything that will come, all religions on the planet that we may not even be aware of, and certainly all the ones that will evolve. And then the final candle, this is the light inside of you, that spark, that truth inside of you that gets to decide, to be of choice right here and right now, to choose what you want to shine light on. Where do you want to expand your energy? Who would you like to bless with your truth? So I invite you to just take a moment and make that decision. If we're here to love only, then clearly we should focus where we put that love. Okay. So I've invited one of my practitioners from the Global Truth Center and his beautiful, beautiful wife, whose work around the world right now is just growing and growing in the profound nature of the love they bring to the world. They lead these musical, harmonizing music, energy, worship services all around the world. And so they're here with us today to bring us one of their original chants that they will teach you and we will all be a part of. So please welcome Jason and Heather Powers.
So I hope you don't mind. We believe that this is holy ground, so we're going no shoes. So
we will all join you, shall we?
Shoes out the door.
So good morning. Good morning. There's such a great energy in here, James. It's so good to be here. Thank you for having us. Yes, we went to Deva Premal concert last night, and she said something that some people were there. Yes, she said that chant and mantra found them, and that's what happened with us. We started incorporating chanting and mantras in Sanskrit, and it's an ancient spiritual practice. And I invite you to do this more in your journeys, because it is a frequency, it is a vibration. These are root words that carry a vibration of frequency. And this one we're going to do this morning is called Om Gate Gate Padagate Padasamgate Bodhisoha. Om Gate Gate Padagate Padasamgate Bodhisoha. And so what this translates loosely is that you're letting go of the shore of the known world. As Ernest Holmes says, stay open at the top. Allow Great Spirit, the God presence is you, to take you to a place beyond what you know. So I invite you to drop into your heart space during this. Chant it if you feel it. If you can. Om Gate Gate Padagate Padasamgate Bodhisoha.
Oh.
gate, Pedasangate Bodhisoha. Om Gate Gate Paragate, Pedasangate Bodhisoha. Om Gate Gate Paragate, Padasangate Bodhisoha. Om Gate Gate Paragate, Padasangate Bodhisoha.
I'm gonna do that cycle again. Just really drop into that.
Om Gate Gate Paragate, Padasangate Bodhisoha. Om Gate Gate Paragate, Padasangate Bodhisoha.
Om Gate Gate Paragate.
Om Gate Gate Paragate, Padasangate Bodhisoha.
Now we're gonna go gone, gone beyond.
Gone, gone beyond.
In the emptiness, only love will linger on.
Oh, far, far beyond.
From the stillness, we arise to sing love song. Oh,
Om Gate Gate Paragate, Padasangate Bodhisoha.
let us love, let us love.
Om Gate Gate Paragate, Padasangate Bodhisoha. Om Gate Gate Paragate, Padasangate Bodhisoha. Om Gate Gate Paragate, Padasangate Bodhisoha.
So let's allow the energy of this chant and our singers to bring us forward into that consciousness of knowing that we really do have choice. And we stand here collectively in communion, knowing that there is only one, and we are at choice about everything. And so I choose to be in gratitude. I choose to be thankful for all the goodness in my life. And I give thanks for this opportunity to be here in communion with each and every one of us present here today and those who are not physically present, knowing that God is, we are, and so it is.
And so it is.
Om Gate Gate Paragate, Padasangate Bodhisoha. Om Gate Gate Paragate, Padasangate Bodhisoha. Om Gate Gate Paragate, Padasangate Bodhisoha.
Bodhisoha, Bodhisoha, oh, gone, gone beyond. From the emptiness, only love will linger on. Far, far beyond. From the stillness, we arise to sing love song. Let's sing that again. Gone, gone beyond. Gone, gone beyond. In the emptiness, only love will linger on. Far, far beyond. From the stillness, we arise to sing love song. Om gate gate pedagate, pedasangate bodhisattva. Om gate gate pedagate, pedasangate bodhisattva. Gonna sing that one more time. Om gate gate pedagate, pedasangate bodhisattva. Bodhisattva, bodhisattva. Om gate gate pedagate, pedasangate bodhisattva.
I invite you all to take a deep breath. And then let's give some love to Jason and Heather. That's beautiful. So that sets us up beautifully, doesn't it?
It does indeed.
So do you want to tell us what our theme is this month?
The secret word are love only.
Where's Brad?
It's right over there.
Okay. No one had to go, oh, this week. That's good. Okay, so what is our, I'm going to leave it up to you now to lead our affirmation,
All right.
which is right there.
Let's all do this together, and let's bring the energy of what we just participate in forward and raise our voices and say,
I live from love, and I love my life.
By James, I think they got it.
I do. I think they've got it. So how was your month?
My month was a good month. We had, as Brad said last week, a couple of those teachable moments, but it was a good month.
What did you do when those teachable moments came along?
I brought myself to have to learn the lesson as much as I didn't want to learn the lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the best example I can share with you, it happened on our the practitioner
The retreat?
retreat.
Yeah.
James gave us an assignment that we had to think of a word that we wanted to release from our life. And after we contemplated the word, we had to walk down to the edge of the ocean, write the word in the sand, and then let the water take care of it. I got so wrapped up in my word, I didn't realize I was so engulfed in it, I was acting out, and I was in the state of what I wanted to release. And I walked so far down, because I didn't want anybody to see this word. And I had my head down, and I'm writing fiercely the four-letter word, which was fear. And I have to share it with you so you get what happens. And I'm to the A, and all of a sudden I hear this kaboom, and it's much closer than the previous kaboom, and I realized that a wave was coming in very quickly. And I started backing up as fast as I could, but I wasn't fast enough. I fell over backwards into the wet sand, and the ocean rolled up on this side of my body, got me completely wet. Now here's where the fear part, what fear does to you. I jump up, and my first thought is I look around, and everybody's to the left of me, and I thought, they didn't see it. I'm sorry. I am sopping wet, except there was one person to my left. It was my wife. It took her a moment to see it, and then she just started laughing out loud and pointed me out to everyone. So that was a teachable moment.
Yes, it was. Good job. Okay. Thank you, Steve. Oh, thank you. I got it. Okay, that's a good one. I love that. Who am I giving this to? I'm going to take that one. Yes, you are. So, it has been. How many of you have had teachable moments this month? How many of you have not? Okay, good. None of you raised your hand, because I was going to have to say you're not paying attention if you haven't had any teachable moments. So Heather, the beautiful Heather Powers, wrote this next song, which, is this the first time any of us are ever hearing it? Is this the first time anybody's ever hearing it in public? You sang it for a little tiny group of people. Okay, this is a bigger group of people. So she did thank you, you've got it. A beautiful, beautiful job of bringing, the last Sunday of every month, we get to culminate everything we've done throughout the month. So this is a beautiful way to do that. So please welcome back Heather Powers.
First of all, thank you guys for, I can feel your heart. We can feel your heart and feel this room. And it's really beautiful. This is a really beautiful group of one, fractals of one here. Love is kind of our journey. This is our favorite thing. It's been our hardest lesson. Truly. When we came together, we knew that, having failed relationships prior to each other, that our journey would be to not only awaken the love within ourselves, but to really learn how to do that with another person, and to honor the love that we are individually and uniquely, but be able to hold that and learn that together. And we feel like as we do that, these love relationships that we have are the most significant thing on the planet to help spread what it is to live in peace with each other, right? And so as we awaken our own love, one of the things I was thinking about the other day as we were sitting with our group of our friends, and what is love? We have such a faulty concept of what love is, and we receive it and let it go very quickly when it's uncomfortable. But there's a passage in 1 Corinthians that many of you might be familiar with, and I was just reminiscing on my days of that being so precious, which it's more precious now than it ever was before, now that I understand it better. But love is what you are, and this is what it is. It is patient. It is kind. Does not envy. It does not boast. It tells the truth instead of spreading lies. It perseveres through the most difficult things. It believes. It endures. And love never fails. And that is what you are. And so this song is called Surrender. Surrender to love. And I just invite you. It's inviting you to the temple. And I want you to close your eyes, because we're going to go on a little journey together. Into the most sacred space was the inner chamber of your heart. And I want you to awaken to the love that you are uniquely, and all the journey that it took for you to be sitting here in this now moment. All the failures, all the confusion, all the victories, all of it. Love it all. Come to the temple, bathe in the presence of love. Let go of the war, lay down your sword, you've had enough. And I know you're weary, the battle has taken its toll. Illusion is shattering, the veil is rent, you're whole. Surrender to my love and trust that you're enough. Allow yourself to breathe and remember, 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 oh, remember, remember, remember who you are. Oh, come to the fire and lay down the shame of the past. The blaze purifying, revealing your gold at last. For you hold the keys now, unlocking your shackles and chains. No longer a prisoner, you are now free and reclaimed. You're reclaimed. Surrender to my love and trust that you're enough. Allow yourself to breathe and remember, 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 oh, remember, remember, remember who you are. Oh. Here we go. For you are the light, light of the world, and you are the joy of the earth, and you are the love of your life. So remember, so remember, so remember, 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 oh, remember, 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 oh, remember, remember, remember who you are. Oh, who you are. So remember.
I told Heather before the service that this is the first time in my entire 15 years as a minister that I did not listen to the special music before it came up. I've never heard that song before. I had all the lyrics. I need the lyrics, but I hadn't heard it. And I'm probably having the same reaction many of you had. You know, it's funny. As she was singing the song, and I felt so emotionally connected to it, there was a moment in it I just felt, oh, God, just the release of the fight. How many of you still are fighting some things in your life? You know, all of you. Good, okay, so we're all in the right place. So I just had this feeling of like, I don't know what it is I'm fighting, but there's energy in me sometimes that feels like I'm fighting. And I'm done. I just want to be done fighting anything, you know? So this month was all about love only. And I chose to do these three. And you know what, Heather? I'm going to have to bring you back on the third, in August, in July, when the theme is Remember Who You Are. And we'll have to close that out with this so I can cry again. So this month was love only. And I picked these to go over these three to really get clear on our vision, to really get clear on what makes us who we are as religious scientists, as New Thought, students, as I'm going to say this even though it could be really crazy, as a new understanding of what Christianity should have possibly been. When Jesus came to teach what he taught, I don't think he ever envisioned, no offense to any Catholics in the room, envisioned people kneeling in front of an altar taking a host and wine. I don't think that's what he had in mind. I could be wrong, but I don't think that's what he had in mind. I also don't think he had in mind that people would war in his name. I just don't, not for the person who came to teach love. So, I always am sad at the idea that Christianity gets such a bad rap, because I consider myself a Christian in many, many ways, just not in the way that you get to call yourself Christian, which is through Jesus, my personal Savior, because he's not my personal Savior. He is a brilliant, brilliant, wise man that I really love deeply. So this whole month was all about love only. So the first quote that I read for you in week 1 was this: "The great love of the universe must be one with the great law of its own being, and we approach love through law. This then is the teaching, love and law. As the love of God is perfect, so the law of God is also perfect, and we must understand both." And what I talked to you about was spending the month living love. Not just understanding love, but living love. And hearing Steve talk about his moment in the sand, how many of us have been literally knocked over by something in our lives that gets us all gritty and dirty again when we're actually trying to stay in this love only, but something comes along and says, really? Try loving this. Any of you have those? Yeah. So that was our duty this month, to actually live our life from that perspective. No matter what, I will love. And I have to understand the concept of love and law. And here's the thing, it's a good idea anyway to love only. Because if you love only, you only get back love. That's what we teach. That's the mental equivalent. If I stay clear, I'm just going to love, no matter what's going on, then no matter what's going on, I'm going to be loved back, no matter what it looks like. If we teach that what we are in mind, we get to experience in life, why would we want things in our mind that give us experiences that we don't want? So it's not just understanding love, it's understanding life. How do I live love? How do I live life as love in order to experience the life that I love? I get it. I get it. And yet sometimes I'm not loving. I know that's hard for you to believe. But there are moments when love isn't my first thought. And sometimes it's not even my second thought, which it's usually my second thought. Sometimes it's like, I don't know, my fourth thought. I refuse to believe I go past 4. How about you? How many thoughts can you have before love shows up? Who just said that? A lot. She said a lot. I know. So that's our job, to try to narrow that field so that at least your second thought is a loving thought. So in week 2, I gave you the quote from Rumi: "You are born to love. Love is your mother." because it was love your mother, because it was Mother's Day. And we talked about love being the mother energy, that beautiful, nurturing energy. Anybody here watching the TV series Sense8? Are you watching it, Jeffrey? Have you started the new season yet? You finished it? It's that kind of TV series. I would recommend it to all of you, but I won't. Because it's really crazy. And in the first season, I had to watch, and tell me if I had to watch at least 4. I stayed with it for like 3 episodes because I'm like, what is this? And do I want to waste this many hours of my life? And then by episode 4, I was like, through the whole season. Then I couldn't wait for that Christmas episode that came up, and now then it's season 2, and I started watching it last night, and I was like, I'm going to bed. I'm not going to stay up and watch Sense8 for 8 hours. But here's the thing about the show. It's a brilliant, brilliant sci-fi TV series that is grounded in science of mind because it's about oneness. It is about us all being one. And that to the point that we can absolutely understand this, we can be interconnected. It is, I do recommend you watching it, but it is a little gritty and it's a little bloody at times, so just letting you know that. Little disclaimer. So this idea of mother, the reason why I brought this up is because the mother energy, there is an aspect of this show where there is a birthing of all of the Sense8 people, where they just all get born at the same time and they're all interconnected. And ultimately, given that time is not real, we have all been born at the same time, and we are all interconnected. I always like to say that if you're alive on the planet today, then you are part of that one age group. Whether you are 1 day old or 123, is that the oldest person alive right now? You know, you're all the same age. We're all the same person. So you are born to love. Love is your mother. Love is who you are. It's what we are. So on week 3, last week, the title of my talk was Breaking Down the Wall. And it was a very intense talk for me. And many of you have spoken to me afterwards about what that talk did and how it affected you and how it really made you think about the walls that you have, the walls that you've created, the walls that you hide behind. I asked the question, I said, what stands in the way of you being who you really are? What walls are hiding you? What walls are you hiding behind? And you know, I don't just give talks. I don't just get up here and talk on a Sunday. I'm led to say whatever I say, and then I live by it. And I ask myself these questions, you know, where are my walls? What walls do I hide behind? And I haven't come up with any because I'm perfect, but I've come up with my own walls, and you know, and I've discussed them with my husband, who then told me of some others that I apparently didn't know about. Because really, I only came up with one, and he said, "You're not working hard enough." I was like, so, yeah. And I actually think I don't know which camera's on me right now, but he's watching today in San Diego, so thank you for the help. So I hope this month you have listened to understand that love is how you live your life and how what you put up here shows up out here. I hope you understand that you were born into this, that it's your birthright to be loved. And I hope you understand that all the things that you've blocked love with, you can break down. You can be done with. So this week, Heather's song, I want to read a couple of these lyrics. The first one, "Come to the mystery." Just the beginning of your song gets me. It's like, come to the mystery. The beginning is about the temple. Come to the temple. And then come to the mystery. Give up the stories you've known. How many of you are still telling your stories? Raise your hands. No, I'm just kidding. We all are at times still telling our stories, even if they're good stories. I mean, think about this. You can tell your amazing good stories, and I have been known to tell some really good stories about my career on Broadway, just in case you didn't know. There, I just told my story. I've just continued that story as though that has anything, and it does have a lot to do with who I am, only because I lived and grew through it to this person that stands before you. All of that has benefited me. All of that has been, it's okay. All of that has benefited me, and if I keep telling these stories, I'm not allowing the story to go on. And how many of us want to go back and relive those stories? That's a trap. That is such a trap. Someone asked me the other day, because every now and then I do get offered acting things, and asked, would you consider going to New York and doing this if I asked you to do it? And, is there a momentary yes? There's a momentary, oh, that would be fun. But my mind is smart enough to go for about a day, and then I would be really freaked out that I was having to do 8 shows a week in New York City. But if I try to go back and relive that, I can never relive that. This is done. I can never relive it like this. I couldn't go back to Broadway and have this experience that I had then. Broadway was very different then. The city was different then. I was very different then. I don't like subways anymore. I used to love the subway. I couldn't wait. I would carry everything on the subway. I once found a steamer trunk and took it on the subway to get it home. I would no sooner go on the subway with a bag anymore. I need a cab. And that means I need to be equal to a limo service, really. But, so give up the stories you've known. And I love this line. She writes, the path is now collapsing. I love that idea, and if you're watching Sense8, you know how that's a part of this show as well. Your world is collapsing around you, and you know what? It should. Every step you take, the path should collapse behind you. And you need to keep walking because it's about to collapse underneath you. And that's who we are. We are ever-evolving, expanding, growing, brilliant, bright lights. We cannot get stuck in the darkness because we like the room. And then she says, leading us back to one. And, you don't mention it, Heather, but she says, surrender to my love, trust that you're enough, allow yourself to breathe, and remember who you are, which is the anagram for star, which I'm like the king of those. So as soon as I saw this, but you don't talk about it in the song, though. No, it's just a little joke of yours to us. Surrender to my love, S, trust that you're enough. Surrender, trust, allow, remember. It even rhymes. Surrender, trust, allow, remember. It rhymes. Star, you are a star. You are that light. So, the title of my talk this week is called LOL. LOL. Now, before I go into, you all know what it means. I'm going to tell you what I got caught doing once. I was new to this whole things where you just use little words on texts. So one day, my kids were doing something, and whatever they did, I said, oh, WTF. Swear to God. And Nora was like, Dad, I can't believe you just said that. I said, why? She said, you know what you just said to me? I said, yes, of course I know what I just said to you. I said, WTF. And she's like, Dad. And Will was like laughing, because boys laugh at that stuff. But she's still appalled that I said this to her, and I said, Nora, WTS, why the face? And then she started laughing, and she was like, that is not what WTF means. And I was like, well, what does it mean? And so she said it, and I was like, Nora, you could have spelled the last word to me. So I no longer say WTF. I say, why the face? So then I found this other woman online who had the same similar problem, and it's this. This mother sent a text to her son, and she said, David, your great Aunt Agnes just passed away, LOL. So her son, named David, writes her back and says, why is that funny? And she writes him back. And now, mind you, they're all texting. She texts him back, it's not funny, David. Why would you say that? And he says, LOL means laugh out loud. And she went, oh my goodness, I thought it meant lots of love. I have to call everyone in the family back. So we do get confused sometimes in this modern world of WTFs and LOLs. So I would like to change LOL today. Instead of laugh out loud, I would like to change it to love out loud. And I can do that, because no one's going to be upset if I say LOL, and they're like, why would you say that to me? Unless it's something serious. So, love out loud. So, I have a question for you. What would it look like, and yes, I'm coming into the audience, so Thor, stay with me. So, don't worry, Steve, you've already been up here, I'm not going to ask you again. I'm going to find somebody I don't know. So I want you to tell me what you think it would be like to love out loud. What would it be like to love out loud? I don't know you, so stand up.
Okay, have no fear.
This is the very thing I said I hate when people do in churches, like they make you stand up and say, but we're not all coming at you, hugging you. We're just going to see what you think. You can take this. So face this way so they can see you online, see your beautiful face. Now you're like, God, I should have worn makeup. No. Wait, I got to tell you a story. So I went to Agape once, and Michael Beckwith saw me, and I had gone in a sweatpants and a baseball cap and no makeup, and I was just, I don't wear makeup. I can't believe no one laughed. And I was like, and he says, Reverend Mellon, why don't you come up and close this out? And I was like, unbelievable. I wanted a day off, and I had to go up and close out their service. So, see, not as bad as that. So what would it mean to love out loud? Talking to the mic.
Smiling at people.
Do you have this on? Closer.
Smiling at people.
Okay, that works, right? Okay, see, that wasn't that hard, was it? Okay, now you can't answer the same question. I know, I don't know you. So, smiling at people. Come on, stand up. What's your name?
Jane.
Jane. Okay, Jane. What would it be like to love out loud?
Just feel free to tell people that you love them when you do.
How about that? How many of you have a hard time telling people you love them? Like you're going to raise your hands. Okay, thank you, Jane. Okay, so there we go. Oh, I don't know you either. This is perfect. Stand up. I don't know any of you. Okay, go ahead. So, to love out loud, what would that look like?
To smile, which I try to do a lot.
You're doing it right now.
I smile, and that's my love.
But I have to tell you, when you smile a lot, you get laugh lines. Doesn't
I'd
matter.
rather have those wrinkles than
Yes.
anything else.
Yes. Okay, good. I'm going to give you a hug. Okay, so very good answer. Okay, let me try this side. Who don't I know over here? I know you all over. Well, I don't know you. What's up?
Oh.
Something radical. What would it be like to love out loud? Radical.
Well, I was going to say make eye contact and smile. Make eye contact.
Oh, actually look at someone.
Yes.
That would be rare.
Yeah.
And then what would you do? So you've looked at me. Now what are you going to do?
Then we'd talk and we'd hug.
So hug. You'd hug someone.
hug, yeah.
You got to ask first, though. I've asked. Yeah,
Probably,
because sometimes you hug people and they're like, I'm not a hugger. They tell you that while you're hugging them.
But you can tell.
Into your ear.
But you can
Stop.
You can tell when, someone doesn't.
You can tell,
You can
right?
tell.
Because I know you do want to hug. Okay, good. Okay, so that would be loving out loud. Let's see. I got to get someone else. You're like. I could see your face. You were like, please don't ask me. Go ahead. Stand up because you look gorgeous. You dressed up for church. Let them see what you look like. It's great. So that's one way. Love out loud. Compliment people with what you see. Right? You look gorgeous.
Thank you.
You have amazing hair.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Now, don't I look
Appreciate
nice?
the compliment. And I was going to say, ditto.
Doesn't
Right-
count.
right-
I had to ask for it.
right back
okay.
at ya.
So go ahead. So what would you do?
Oh, okay. As I was sitting here pondering the question for a moment, I thought, what do I do which I feel is a loving gesture that goes both ways?
Yeah.
And that would be making eye contact again, and really asking somebody how they are, listening, and taking a moment to internalize that and respond in kind to what they've just said,
Mm-hmm.
instead of the rudimentary, so how are you? And then you're off doing your thing.
You don't even hear what they say.
That's how I feel a sense of connection, which helps me to feel a sense of love with strangers or people I love or people I'm just meeting in passing.
What do you do in life?
I'm a physical therapist.
I knew you were a therapist. I knew you were going to say, did y'all feel that? There was something about, I was like, she's a therapist. She's some kind of therapist.
So I have to do this regularly. It's something I get a lot of practice with doing because I'm dealing with people who are going through a lot and need a tremendous amount of empathy and understanding, because it's not always easy for them to be in a good mood or to make a connection. They're very much within themselves oftentimes.
Yeah.
So it helps to make a connection.
Oh, can I hug you? That's good. Oh, that was great. Okay, good answers. So what side did I miss? I missed this side over here. So one more. So I want you to keep thinking, what would it mean to love out loud? So let's see. Oh, you know what? I got to ask you. So what would it mean to love out loud?
Be very happy.
Do you know why that would work?
You're contributing.
Yes. Did you hear what he said? To be very happy, and that would be contributing. So that is what we're talking about. First of all, can I have a round of applause for everybody that spoke? So that is what we're talking about. If you're going to love out loud, you are going to be in the consciousness of love, and if therefore you're happy, which by the way Thomas Troward says is our only purpose in life, to be in joy of life, if we're in that consciousness, then that's what we're spreading wherever we go. Have you ever had somebody walk in a room and they just light up the room when they walk in? Yeah? Have you ever had somebody walk in the room who did the exact opposite? Who just walks into the room and sucks every ounce of energy out of the room, even the moment they say hi? Well, by the way, that's your chance to love, to really talk to them. You know, I have this thing about empathy. Thank you for bringing that up. I have a very bad rap. I created it myself. You know, I always say, no sympathy, no empathy, no compassion. And you're all like, wow, how'd you get to be a minister? So here's why. Ernest Holmes talks about sympathy. And he talks about when we are in sympathy with something, we can't actually help it. We can't really do anything for it because we're in sympathy. Empathy actually means I'm feeling what you're feeling. And Ernest Holmes says stay away from that because you can't help someone if you're feeling what they're feeling. Now you both need help. And compassion, I used to say no compassion because if you look up compassion, it says sympathy and empathy. So there was a time in my early ministry where I would say no sympathy, no empathy, no compassion. And it was the day of the church picnic. And I was the pitcher, of course, on one of the two teams. And I was up to bat, and whoever was pitching hit me with the ball by accident, they say. And all of a sudden, and it hit me like here. And I was like, I dropped the bat, and very dramatic. And all of a sudden, you heard like 50 people go, no sympathy, no empathy, no compassion. First, I was like, well, I'm glad you were listening, but it was pretty amazing. I have turned the corner on that a bit. I don't play softball anymore. But here's the thing about empathy. So I went to the Teen Line banquet this week. Do you all know what Teen Line is? It's a suicide hotline for teens. And they were doing their awards at the Beverly Hilton, and I went. And I walked in, and there's this huge sign that says empathy. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a fun afternoon. And then every person that got up and talked about empathy, and these teens taught me a big lesson. They got up and they talked about what it's like to be on that hotline and deal with what they deal with. And the fact that when it touches them and they feel what that person's feeling, they instantly know where to go, shut off the empathy, and move on. And I thought, of course empathy has a place in this world. Empathy means that I do feel you, but I will not go there. I will now shut that off and come from the truth, and now I can help you. So empathy certainly does have its place, and I have to literally go back and apologize to everybody that I've said this to. I had the same thing with hope, where I didn't, Ernest Holmes says hope, it's better than despair, but barely. But I've totally turned the corner on hope because, frankly, if you're in despair, your next step is hope. You don't get to jump past hope. Hope may be the only thing you can do. So why do I bring all this up about myself and my journey? because that's what it means to live love, to be open to be wrong. If I'm going to love out loud, then I better be able to say hello to someone, really hear what they're saying, and if it's not a thought that I may agree with, still be present. Stay present. Listen. Be a part of the conversation so that basically whatever needs to be known is known. That's what we get to do with this understanding of literally loving out loud. Eliminate the walls. Eliminate the need to be right. Eliminate anything in you that thinks someone is different from you. And literally step into a very vulnerable place where every path is crushing, falling apart around you, and you are still standing in your truth. That right where I am, God is. It's because who I am is God. And so are you, and so are you, and so is every single person on this planet. So there it is. We've had an entire month to look at this love only. Now, some of you may be thinking, oh, it's done. I can move on. That month is over. But that's not where we need to go. We need to take this idea of loving only and live it even louder. Not being afraid to say I love you to anyone. Not being afraid to know how much you do love. Not being afraid to accept love. Not being afraid to let people say to you, I love you. Not being afraid to let people smile at you. Not being afraid to let people hug you. If you say you're not a hugger, try it. Try letting someone hug you and see what happens. Try letting people in. Try breaking down your walls and living from that vantage point. Try really stepping into that Christ consciousness that says you are more than any one of your issues. That's what loving out loud would be. And it is something I'm asking you to take as a dare. Dare to live love out loud and see what your life does. See how your life changes when you are open to allowing love to lead the way and to literally point the way for you to move. Because as Ernest Holmes says, love is the way, but law makes it happen. So unless you're love, you are not showing the law how to make your life happen. And I know every single one of us is here today because we want our lives to happen in a bigger, bolder, more amazing, more joy-filled, more successful, more prosperous way. The way in is through love. Namaste. And thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, everyone who answered those questions. Okay, so let's all take a deep breath. I invite you to take out your contribution this morning. Take out your tithe, your investment, your pledge, your stewardship, whatever you call it something so you're consciously aware. And let's know this together, shall we? Spirit in me is the open door to new ideas. Divine love flowing as me blesses and multiplies all that I give and all that I receive. In this moment, I enter a new life of prosperity and success, and so it is. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. I am so blessed. Everybody. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. All that I have. I am
am so grateful. I am so blessed. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Do, do, do.
So join with me in really bringing forth the energy of what we have just been singing, that indeed I am so blessed and I am so grateful for what I have. And I share what I have freely and openly. And we collectively together bless this offertory today, knowing that as we give, so shall we receive. And as we give, we experience the power of our spirituality in such a bigger way. And so I simply say, thank you, God. Thank you, God. And so it is.
So it is.
Okay, let me hear y'all. Here we go. Ready? I am so blessed.
I am so blessed. So blessed. I am so blessed. So blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so do 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 do.
Okay, so a couple of announcements. First announcement is women's group, which is tomorrow night. Tonight, sorry. Women's group is tonight. There are little pamphlets out in the, where are they, on the table?
Yeah, most of you ladies already received this. My name is Anita Furtick. I'm the coordinator for the women's group.
Good.
Every
I'm gonna do
fourth
this.
Sunday in the evening, 6:15.
Okay, Anita, you're gonna have to say all, if you're gonna say all that, you gotta do it in a microphone for all the people that can't hear a thing you're saying. I know you're loud, but you can't go through the, the camera.
Hello, my name is Anita Furtick.
Go ahead.
Okay. And I'm the coordinator for the women's group that meets every fourth Sunday in the evening, right below this this room here. And this is a gathering for women to realize how sacred and how beautiful they are. We come together in unity. It's a wonderful experience. This week, Jenny McGuire is going to be our facilitator. I've experienced her several times. You're going to have a
Where is it?
wonderful time. Downstairs,
Oh, great.
6:15, no later than 6:15, meeting downstairs. You're in for a joyous evening.
And where are those things that you want them to pick up?
Just outside the door.
Great. Okay. Yes.
Thank you.
She wants to know if they bring food. No, Anita cooks a full course meal for everyone.
Catered by James.
Yes, right. You mean paid
Dr.
paid
Dean.
for. Yes. Okay. Our Texas Hold'em. We're good on that now? Yes. Everybody, how many of you have signed up for Texas? Where's that hat? You're not speaking without a cowboy hat. I actually had a cowboy hat yesterday. I meant to bring it with me.
I'm sure you did. My name is not Anita Furtick. My name is Kelly Brzezinski. And we are having our Texas Hold'em Poker Tournament on Friday night, June 16th. It starts at 7 p.m. 6 o'clock, we'll have lessons. So if any of you have not signed up and are interested in that, you can see me after service today. Still time to do that. Anybody who is not going to play in that event, who would still like to maybe participate in some way, I could use a hand with food. If anybody is so interested in providing a dish, making a dish, buying something somewhere and donating for that event, I would love that as well. You can see me after the service about that today as well.
Okay, great, great.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you. Thank you, Kelly. Okay, next. Okay, our concert is the very next evening. This is for Casa Guatemala, for us to be able to bring funds to them to help them build their arts room, as well as a holding wall. I think that's what it's called. Retaining wall. Retaining water. A retaining wall. So I can tell you now, one of the people, I think I can now announce it, will be Oscar nominee. I don't think did he win or did he get nominated? Nominated twice. Nominated twice for Best Songwriter and Best Song of the Year for an Oscar. And he will be here singing one of his songs, and we're probably going to sing another one of his songs as well. So he's an amazing songwriter, performer. He just got off the cruise lines where he's doing his one-man show about writing Oscar-winning songs. So he's coming here to perform for us, so you will not want to miss this amazing man. His name is Alan Rich, and he is quite rich in talent. So, yes. So I'll tell you that one this week. I'll tell you another one next week. Tree. And Tree has sign-up downstairs for the concert. Please go to her and buy your tickets for the concert. Excellent. Sunday, June 25th, we will have a community meeting where we talk to you and ask you your ideas about what is our next step at in this community for moving forward. Okay, so please put that in your calendar. I would love it if everybody was here so that we could really have a big turnout and a big meeting. Okay, what else? The Exquisite Risk. That will be a 4-week class, starts on July 11th, 7 p.m., 4 Wednesday nights. My classes are very... What did I say? Oh, Tuesdays. I am doing it in Studio City as well. Tuesday night here, Wednesday night there. So we do it first, they copy. So how many people were in the Success class? Raise your hand. Okay, so you're all ready for this Tuesday? Everybody has their projects? So you should all know, they all had to do a project that they are now going to perform tomorrow night. We have singing by people who've never sung before. We have tap dancing. Am I correct with the tap dancing? I'm bringing taps. I will bring my tap shoes. Okay. We have sweaters that have been knitted and belly dancing. So this stage on Tuesday night is going to be a plethora of creative successes. So that's the kind of classes I teach. This is really why I brought this up. You know, the Exquisite Risk will be no different, except there won't be a project due at the end. But it will be very... Who said yay? No, I don't think the class wants anyone watching who hasn't been in the class. They feel a little safer tap dancing. Okay. Yes, and belly dancing while they're doing an art project. Is that correct? I'm not going to say who it is, even though I'm staring at her. So, okay. So it's very interactive. Exquisite Risk will be a very interactive class for you to get out of your comfort zone and step into some real daring ideas. So there you go. Is there anything else? That is it. Okay, kids, come on up. Are you the soul guy again? No. I'm not calling you up here. Don't have a heart attack. Someday, though, I'm coming down and getting you. Okay, so what happened today? Didn't you have like a sleepover last night with a whole bunch of kids? Yeah, how was that? Good, okay, good. Take that.
We painted today, and our hands were tied together, and we had to make a painting.
Your hands were tied together and you had to make this?
Yeah.
Wow. I think there are many of us with our hands free couldn't do this. That's good.
Yeah.
What was the point of that? You don't know. Yeah.
I'm not sure I know.
Connie, what was the point of
I'm not
that?
sure I knew what the point was. No, we were tied to our partner's hands, and we shared a loving expression together by painting something together in just silent communication, and then we were unbound, and that's the expression of unbound, loving painting together.
That's
they each
beautiful.
had a paintbrush after they unbound.
Go ahead.
This is mine and Bella's tied together one.
This is your tied together one?
Yeah.
That's great. Good job. Wow.
basically-
Where's your painting?
It was still wet.
It's still wet. Okay, good answer. How'd you two like it? Did you make your paintings too? Did you enjoy it? What did you paint?
We painted a box without our hands tied, so it was like a present, but it was a present.
Okay, so you painted a present. What did you paint?
I painted a Moana.
Moana?
Uh-huh.
Oh, the little girl in the movie?
Yeah. And her chicken and Pua.
Her chicken. And what's Pua? Oh, a pig. So you painted a chicken, a pig, and Moana. And Maui. In Maui.
Uh-huh. In Maui.
In Maui. What's Maui? Oh, and a demigod. You did all this with your hands tied? All right, then. Okay. Can I get all the practitioners up here, please? Jason? Okay, so thank you all for being here today. Thank you for sharing this amazing month. Next month's theme is Forgive Everything. So you can start now forgiving, or you can wait till next Sunday. Whatever works for you. Okay, so I invite you all to take a deep breath. What you see on stage are the practitioners, some from Global Truth Center, most of them from Westlake, and our children that are already practitioners in their minds, yes? Yeah. So I invite you to know this. Can I get some beautiful music there? There we go. I'll start with the beautiful Heather Powers, Come to the Temple. So I invite you all to recognize the very temple that you embody, that beautiful body that you are in, the beautiful mind that you share, the truth that runs through your consciousness at all times, nudging you, saying, you are so much more. There's so much more for you to do, to be. Let me love you, and then let that love out. Love only love. Love out loud. This is the truth. I'm so grateful to have shared this month, so grateful to have shared today, so grateful for the children, for the adults, for the children that are adults and the adults that are children, knowing that we are all one thing right here, right now. I'm so grateful for this, and I know that this day unfolds magnificently, as it already has and as it continues to do so. And so I just step aside and let it be so. As together we all say, and so it is. So I invite you to stand. We are going to close with All There Is Love. So please join us. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love.
There's nothing you can do that can't be done.
There's nothing you can sing that can't be sung.
Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy.
There's nothing you can make that can't be made.
No one you can save that can't be saved.
Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be the best you. It's easy. Here we go. All you need is love. Come on, let's raise the roof. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need, right?
There's nothing you can know that isn't known.
Nothing you can see that isn't shown.
Nowhere you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. It's easy. Oh, it's easy. All you need is love.
da da. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. All you need is love. Da 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 da. All you need is love. La 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 la. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Everybody. Love is all you need. 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 Real loud. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Ready? She loves you, yeah. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, 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 yeah. Here we go. Ready? Last time. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. One time. Love is all you need.
Karen is the congregant.
Have a great Sunday, everyone. Karen is your congregant today. She'll be in the meditation room. All you need is love. Da 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 da. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. Take one.